All right, so good to be back. Um, you know, be out there on the field with the guys, and a lot of excitement because there are a lot of new guys. It's almost like how it used to be in the fall, when you had, before all the mid-years, and you had all the new guys in the fall to look at. Spring usually is not this way, but, with the portal and all the guys, new guys, it's pretty exciting to be able to go out there and look at all the guys. And it used to just be basically high school guys that were a long ways away. Now you got guys that have already played and, should have significant roles. It's pretty exciting.
Questions?
Lane, y'all announced this morning, Bentley and TCU running back are getting added for spring. How big is it getting Bentley in there now with the other running backs to kind of get those reps going?
Yeah, we lost our top three production-wise running backs from a year ago, so that was a very important addition. I think he did some great things there when he was healthy. Kind of had some Devin Singletary type of runs and stuff. So, again, unique timing of all this, and to be able to add guys, and they're here today, is kind of crazy. I mean, I've made all the references to we have free agency, but we have free agency, and even more the fact that, the guy's at another program a few days ago, and now he's here. Really is truly like free agency.
Lane, do you guys have any resolution yet on Caden Costa?
I don't know that I'm, with HIPAA and stuff, I don't know that I can comment on that, but I'll check on that and then get back to you.
Practice?
He is not, no.
Speaking on free agency, you've been vocal about this before, just kind of that mystery report of an $8 million NIL deal for a kid who hasn't maybe thrown a snap in college. What are your thoughts of this? It seems like it's kind of swelling and growing, and y'all talked about having to compete with those other kind of levels.
Yeah, I've obviously said a lot about NIL from the beginning of it. Let's make sure that we understand. I love that the players are getting paid, and I just say how it is. So, I guess I got called a clown before for saying how it is. NIL has a lot to do with where players go. And to not think that's crazy. And it'd literally be like being a head coach in the NFL, signing a great free agency class, of signing guys, going out and getting these great players and coming up here and saying to you guys, the contracts had nothing to do with why the players came here. They just want to come play for me. So, obviously, it has a lot to do with where players go, and it should. You're talking about 17, 18-year-old kids, Adults choose jobs a lot of times for money, for salaries. So why would a kid not?
Lane, you guys are coming up with the first 10-win regular season in program history. Should Wolberg, I guess, what is the key to sustained success, especially with the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff? And do you believe this program is in position for that sustained success right now?
Yeah, every year is new, and so every team's new. Even when we lost a lot, even when you have a lot coming back, it's just every year's new, and so we've kind of put that behind us. Haven't had you guys a lot since really the last game, and that was a difficult game. I felt we didn't play very well at all on offense. Obviously I'm the head coach, take responsibility for that, and it was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing performance, and we did not give them many issues at all schematically. So I don't know that I've been a part of 10 sacks before like that. So that's just really it was discouraging, and the problem is it's your last game, and you got to live with that. You don't have another one to play 7 days later, and so that was that was difficult to go out that way, and especially as you go back and watch the film of the game, you really see how well we played on defense. I think it was, you guys know how my tirade after the Arkansas game and our performance on defense. I mean, this is right on that level offensively. You know, I mean, that's the baddest performance as you could have, and unfortunately, in one of the biggest games in the history of the program. So, moving forward.
Obviously, got some changes on the coaching staff as well. In terms of schematically and strategically, will you be much different on either side of the ball with different coaches over there?
Not a whole lot. There'll be a lot of carryover. You know, with defensively promoting from within, and Charlie on offense haven't been with us before, so I think that's really good for the players. You know, there'll be some changes, but not overhauls, and that's what you should do. You know, you win 10 games, you always want to try to get better and improve, and you know, look at new ideas and things, but you know, not totally scratch. You know, kind of like what we did schematically a year ago on defense, where we dramatically changed. So I don't think you'll see a whole lot of difference from the outside.
Have y'all worked out who are going to be the offensive, defensive play callers yet, or is that kind of work in progress?
That would be Partridge and Charlie.
We haven't had a chance to speak with you since Chris left the staff. Can you kind of give us your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's unique because he's your brother, you know, and so, you know, he came back, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes, you know, you take jobs and it's the end of the season and you're excited about it, and you get there and kind of have some second thoughts. And it happens with the recruits when they sign at schools. It happens with coaches. Just like I said, kids and adults aren't a whole lot of difference. A lot of times in taking jobs because of salaries, you know, you can have the same thing, especially even more sometimes because you got 4 kids, and you know, they're used to all their teams and friends up there, and you know, kind of comes reality when they come down and visit and they got to move, and they were really entrenched there, you know, from their friends and all playing sports and stuff. So I get it.
You talked about your relationship with Matt Corral. Obviously, his pro day is tomorrow. Was it weird not having him out there today?
There's a lot of weird things, so it is what it is. I mean, you know, it's been a long time since I hadn't had Wilson out there, you know, so not just here, going all the way back to FAU or Kevin Smith. So there's a lot of new, and Matt's part of that, but that's 2 years. So other guys, you know, this would have been year 6. So there's a lot of different things, but that comes with success, and change is good. You know, you got to embrace change, and you know, new people have new ideas.
How would you describe the seemingly quarterback battle that is going to start this spring?
All 3 guys will have a chance. We've been in a lot of these over the years, more than we'd like, actually. I mean, at one point, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there was 6 of 7 years in a row we had a new starter, between, I think, last year at USC, Alabama, and FAU. And so we've been very used to this. We had not had a, you know, returning starter really maybe 1 year out of all of that. So we've been in this, and again, it can be good because it makes everybody better because there's competition.
In an ideal world, does someone emerge in the spring where they're the kind of the leader in the summer, or is that overrated?
Always in these things, it would be best for it to be early from a standpoint of the team and everybody knowing it, but we're never going to rush it. These things have gone forever. We ideally never want it to go into the season where they're playing. You know, just that's never ideal, but that's even happened once. So you got to try to make the right decision. And the more time, the more input, the more information. We don't have preseason games, so the more you can get, the better. So you need to be patient sometimes.
How healthy are y'all this spring? I know last year pretty much the entire offense was sitting out. Is it going to be similar, or are you guys pretty much full strength?
I think we're better that way. You know, there's some guys not out there or limited, but I think for the most part, we got a lot of guys out there, and all your new guys, you know, are out there. So that's a lot. What is that? 12 now, I think. 12 transfers. That's a lot.
Some of the off-season news, if you will, has been that Nick Broker is going to slide down from left tackle to left guard. Can you tell us about the thought process?
You know, we do what's in the best interest for the players on these, kind of like the Ben Brown situation, and just when we look at what's probably their future in the NFL, you know, usually, you know, move them there, and you know, that's just, I don't know, I think that's a little bit unique for coaches to do that, but I think we owe it to them, especially when it's decisions of whether to come back or not. You know, to come back and then force a guy to play the position that they're not going to play, you know, at the next level, you know, is definitely not in the best interest of them, because then they got to do what always happens, and they got to go do workouts and play a different spot and try to say, oh, we can play this spot, but yet we didn't. So I think this is best for him.